Hello, here is the story of a famous composer and his notorious partner. In 1831, Frédéric Chopin arrived from his native Poland and made a sensation in Paris. He had been a young musical prodigy and was only 22 when he conquered Paris. Chopin's romantic compositions and brilliant piano playing won him many devoted female fans. Chopin himself admired many women, but eventually he became deeply attached to a very unusual woman who was so unlike the general run of women at that time that many people even questioned whether she was indeed a woman. However, she married at the age of 18 and had 2 children from her marriage, and this was surely enough proof that she was a woman. Her name was Aurore, and her husband's surname was Dudevant. Aurore Dudevant very soon tired of her husband and entered enthusiastically into many affairs. Not surprisingly, this led to a separation from her husband. She left him and took up the life of an independent woman, which in those days was considered absolutely scandalous. She made a great deal of money by writing romantic novels, which became very popular and even surpassed the fame of Balzac and Victor Hugo. Her pen name, as many people will know, was George Sand. Just as she adopted a male name, she also dressed regularly as a man. She wore trousers. This may not seem particularly odd, now that it is a matter of course for so many women to wear trousers. But in Paris in the 1830s, a trouser-wearing woman could be committing a criminal offense. The police ordered women to apply for a permit if the women needed to wear trousers for health reasons, for certain types of work, or for horseback riding. None of these categories applied to George Sand. She ignored the law and did not obtain a permit to wear trousers. Perhaps the police did not mix in literary circles and therefore did not notice her. She also smoked cigars in public and often wore a top hat. In short, she was a very early feminist. She held very advanced views which other women considered outrageous. She was so unusual that Chopin at first did not take to her, but gradually the two became close friends and eventually lovers. George Sand wrote to a friend about her feelings for Chopin at this time. "I must say I was confused and amazed at the effect this little creature had on me. I have still not recovered from my astonishment, and if I were a proud person, I should be feeling humiliated at having been carried away." Chopin himself referred to George Sand as his angel. George Sand, who was 6 years older than Chopin, was a very strong and energetic woman. She had many love affairs before she met Chopin. A strange and even eccentric aspect of her personality was her fondness for nursing delicate and sickly men. One of her great favorites before she met Chopin was the famous poet Alfred de Musset. He became seriously ill, and George Sand moved in with him to nurse him and attend to all his needs. When he eventually recovered his health, George Sand left him. Obviously, George Sand's interest in de Musset was largely based on the fact that he was an ill man. When Chopin fell ill with a chest complaint, this meant that George Sand became more interested in him than ever. Chopin eventually developed tuberculosis, and George Sand decided that he needed to live in a warm climate. The couple moved to Majorca and took up lodgings in a monastery. George Sand installed Chopin's piano at the monastery and brought her 2 children with her. She had a daughter, Solange, and a son, Maurice. At the monastery, George Sand devotedly nursed Chopin and attended to everything that was required. Chopin wrote some of his most famous compositions at the monastery, and many of these had an underlying sadness due to his ill health. Unfortunately, George Sand's son Maurice resented Chopin and frequently quarreled with him. This very much upset Chopin and eventually caused the breakup of the relationship between Chopin and George Sand, which had lasted for nearly 10 years. Here is an excerpt from the Prelude in E minor by Chopin.